Good afternoon, Colonel.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you? How are you?
I am giving thanks and
See, I can't get the voice.
I'm in some good company at the moment, so it makes it even better.
Yes, and you deserve to feel special because you have given a lot to us and you're a fool. You are
When you see me roll up, the bang and never stall, money can't don't stop. We have to live life now, cause we grow rough. The fresher than the pace, you go ask, do or not, do or not, do or not. You know the big bad skeptical and I represent for talk show, tell it. Tell the youth them don't licky and sell out for them belly. You hear me? Send it to the road and take with them girl. Now who want them, I couldn't you want them. Talk true, tell it. I know you want them, or some boy just like a woman dead. Out there.
growth and development because you have instituted something
Yes,
that we are benefiting from.
yes,
Yes. And as a result of that, we want to say is thank you. Thank you very much for your vision. For your vision for forming the Victoria Combined Cadet Force. I want to
yes.
say thank you because it has helped a lot of young men. And I am also one of those young men. Thank you very much, Colonel.
Well, I'm glad that I proved myself useful in that small way, and it seems that I've influenced the lives of many more people that I'm aware of,
Yes,
including
sir. So
you.
when you go to your father, to your long rest, be comforted because it's not how you live, it's how well you live.
Yes, that's correct. It's how well you live. Hmm.
And I give thanks. So the brothers are there with you to comfort you and to make sure that you're okay. And sit with you and talk with you and give you some face-to-face communication. Bring you up to speed about the development of the organization, which has fallen into a state of disrepute. Yes?
Yes,
This is an attempt at forcing a force to revamp it. So with your blessings, I know the Persians will do well.
okay. I greet you well also, and I will continue to listen to your beautiful music from time to time.
Thank you very much, my colonel, and I will try to contribute good music to sustain the nation always.
At the time when you joined the independent unit, what school were you attending?
St. Monica's College,
That's
which
in,
was a private secondary school on Victoria Avenue near Ellis Road.
and what age were you at the time?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
what year did I say? Because I'm born 1931.
Yes, and then you were going to the school in 1950. So, you know,
Okay.
I was born 1931.
All right. We'll do the addition. All right. Then tell me something now. Oh, you joined it 1950, and how long you stayed in cadet?
In cadets,
Yeah.
technically speaking, I'm still with cadets.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why I said technically speaking.
Yeah.
It's because in July 2020, I was posted to a list called the supernumerary list at cadet headquarters. That supernumerary list has the names or keep the names of personnel, of officers, especially senior officers,
Okay.
who can be called on at any time to assist with interviews or men wanting to join the force as officers, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So technically speaking, there might be an oversight on their part that they don't write it off here. But from 2020, I was posted to this supernumerary list.
Okay.
So officially, I'm still an officer in the cadet force.
Okay. What's the difference? What, from your point of view, what's the difference between independent unit and any other unit in Jamaica, like other schools unit? How would you differentiate
all
them?
right. I would treat the other units, as more privileged than independent unit, because as I said at some stage, independent unit was made up of boys from the, how should I say now, from the lower echelon of society, as it were,
Okay. Okay.
basically, because it was made up from boys of private secondary school. You understand?
Yeah. Why would you say? Why would you say? Why would you think persons, young guys or girls, should join a cadet unit? Why it's so
Why I
important? Why
say
it's so
that?
important for someone to
Because
join?
it would aid the disciplinary upbringing of such an individual much more than being left on their own. The society, our society today, unfortunately, is largely indisciplined. Now, we feel that a member of the being a member of the cadet force would help to reduce the level of the indiscipline among that category of individuals.
Okay. All right. I noticed persons that join cadets, their next step was the army, or maybe the police force, or not worst case scenario, or the next thing is the fireman. Did you actually move on to either the police, the army,
No,
or the fireman?
I did not try. I did not try. I was quite satisfied with my contribution to the cadet force, because at the level I was making a tremendous contribution overall at so many levels. I was in charge of the band, for example, at one time. I was the officer in charge of the band. But again,
The ear wing.
hmm?
The ear wing unit.
Yes, ear training. So I was giving assistance in so many other areas that it did not interest me to become a member of the regular army.
How do you feel as a colonel? Alright, before I ask you that question, tell me about you moving up in rank. What were the how a cadet get to move up in ranks? What is the tests, the training, the work what they put in? Tell me about what caused a cadet to move up in rank.
Two
Qualification.
things. Two things. His own ability, the vacancies that may occur, because you could not have a unit of pure colonels.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
You have the junior officer. In fact, the most junior officer there was called an adult under officer, AUO. Then you have the second lieutenant, then the lieutenant, then the captain, then the major, before you can reach colonel. So there was a lot of space there for upward movement.
And you came up the rank?
Yeah. I came up through the ranks.
What was your first promotion? Tell me about your first promotion.
My first promotion took place during the very first year that I joined as a cadet.
Same area, Giant?
Yes, because the vacancy was there. And remember, I'm repeating myself several times. I'm saying that Major came and recruited cadets to form a new unit made up from boys of private secondary schools and some of the schools around the west that did not have any cadet unit.
So how was it interviewing the colonel?
A lot of nostalgic memory with him. Going back to 1950 when he just joined the cadet force to present, bring back, to see the history. He has a lot of history about the independent unit and the cadet force in general that we can, utilize moving forward.
Sir Maitland, since we formed that platform, you're one of the most wanted person. Everybody wants to talk to Mr. Maitland, and everybody, as I'm joining the group, where's Maitland? Know that you are here. Tell us something about Cadet Force. What year you joined the Cadet Force?
I joined the cadet force in 1983, and I moved up right through the cadet force until I became 001. I have had several appointments within the force. Force Major, RQMS for the force, at camps, various appointments I've held in the force, which I'm really, really proud of.
You happen to train cadets also?
That was one of my specialty, being at independent unit and all other units. As I said, I'm very rounded when it comes on to certain knowledge and experience that I would have gained over the years, that I would have shared with the cadets. Especially from independent unit, but more so the force in general.
Alright, cadets, first speaking of rough, they speak of sausage, they speak of Second Lieutenant Edwards, and they said how cruel there was. They say you are cruel too, They say that, but them, it's balanced with you. But
it's not necessarily cruelty. It's to show people that whatsoever we are doing, it's for the betterment down the road. As they say, you train hard, and then the rest of the journey will be smooth sailing when it comes into action.
All right, we understand what cruel meant, because I think that way as a cadet, but as you get older, you realize it was to keep you in line and keep you in check, and to shape you as a man, to show how rough and you can go through, don't care the storm, an independent unit can go through the storm. I remember an independent unit cadet, when you go on the street, we are matched up to a soldier, because we're not afraid of nobody. We just feel like somebody can't even just start to it any way, because we just leave it and put it on your head top. Not that we're violent, but the training make us just feel like, we're fearless.
It's not that independent unit had different training from the other cadets, but it was more intense, and also the intensity of it, and then the cadets from independent unit back then, they were much bigger in body and stature, right? So they could represent any member of the military during that time, which they did impersonate a lot of times. When they go on camps, and they go on an operation, cadets sometimes they go on an operation. Back then, and it would never happen today in today's society the way it is now, but back then they used to do it and, go in and do stuff in community, which was,
Tell me about Bruff.
Oh, Bruff, when I joined in 1983, Bruff was a corporal, then he got promotion to sergeant. He was a very genuine person. He was just this person who wanted the best of you. And he was very knowledgeable. and in that not only being knowledgeable, he knows how to get around and get things done. Right up to his appointment to 002, his promotion to 002 in the cadet, in the independent unit, shortly after he left and joined the army, and then he became one of their best instructor that they would have had right up to Newcastle.
Give me an insight on Second Lieutenant Edwards.
Second Lieutenant Edwards, when I joined in 1983, he drive fear into people by just his voice. Because you'll see this little man and you're like, who's this little man? And then you hear his voice coming out. And then you roar and roll. And then people were more afraid of his voice than anything from time to time. And, you know, he was like, oh, down and give me 10, down. But, you know, it has taught us that, you know, within the cadet force, we have great responsibility. And at that time, he had great responsibility, and he took it very serious.
You remember Myrie M?
Yes, he was. When he was a cadet, I was a sergeant corporal at that time. Adult sergeant, going up.
What was he like as a cadet?
Well, at that time, he was just humble, and you know, he had a group of cadets who would be around him from time to time, you know. But he would come to training, and he was very obedient, I would say.
So, Mr. Maitland, did you ever went to the army?
No, I never. But a lot of people thought I had gone to the army because how I carried myself, how I had knowledge of things, and you know, things I would do. But I never did join the army.
Just give me a comparison between independent unit and other units.
Well, independent unit, it's a cut above the rest, whereby we had to struggle for everything that we have. Uniform, space. While the other guys from our, cadets from the other unit, they had a school, they have like a foundation there where things are readily available for them, like support, the school support and community. Here we are joined from several schools in the corporate area, and then not only that, these were schools that people thought was, downtrodden school where they, school like these, bad boys go there. So we'd get those cadets from time to time. So we'll have to retrain them and teach them new things. And one of the things that we'll have to teach them is responsibility. And that was one of the greatest things a lot of them learned, responsibility. And I'll take it even a little further. A lot of these cadets, they don't have that family structure. So when they come to an independent unit, the father figure is there, somebody who believes in them, motivate them, and push them to do more and to do better.
Okay. Here are viewers and subscribers. This is just a tip of the iceberg. This is not even the quarter what the Talk Show Telly and Mr. Maitland will talk about. So stay tuned and watch. Talk Truth, youth. Talk Truth.
What me like about Talk Truth TV? You have to talk truth. That's it, name Talk Truth. Get the point?